So that you know, yeah, several people get rejection letter on their technician visa application because of the quality of the letters of recommendation. Remember that you need 3 letters of recommendation, right, in your application. Imagine the quality of the letter is very poor. This is actually what brings a lot of evidence, yeah, and validation into the work that you've done. So which means that when you want to write those letters, it's something you want to spend a lot of your time on in such a way that whoever reads your letter, imagine a reviewer looking at your letters, yeah, and the quality of the letter is very poor. Yeah, there's some do's and don'ts on the letter. Yeah, what happens is that you get rejection. It's very easy for you to get rejection. And you know the interesting thing, letters are one of the easiest way that reviewer put a lot of holes in people's application. So spend your time on this video and please pay attention to the tips I'll be sharing here, yeah, on how you write your letter of recommendation. So number 1 tip here is that when your letter is being written, yeah, technician, yeah, guide says that your letter should be about your global talent application. Don't use a letter for another reason. What does that mean? It means that when that letter is being written, the content of that letter must be about your global talent visa application, which means you can't just use a letter of reference that was meant for to whom it may concern, for example, as your letter of recommendation. No, it has to be a letter that somebody wrote for you specifically for your global talent visa application. I hope that one clarifies. That's number 1 tip. Number 2 tip is that in that letter, there must be a content in that letter that talks about how the author of that letter knows you. I could give you an example to that. It could be that, oh, I met Ola Diamonds during a conference 5 years ago. It could be Ola Diamond used to report to me. I used to be Ola Diamond's manager. It could be used to be my client and he has worked for me for over 10 years. It could be we were colleagues in school and we went apart for 5 years and later we connected again in a conference. It could be that we both co-authored a book. It could be several reasons, yeah. However, in your letter, there must be like something that you write about how the author gets to know you, yeah. And I want to just give you a tip here. Make sure that it's something that is very professional because it's going to give you a lot of leverage, yeah. That is number 2. Now, number 3 is that the author of that letter needs to know about your achievements in the field. Why is that necessary? It is necessary because in that letter of your recommendation, the author needs to write about something that you have done, that you have achieved in that chosen field. For example, you're a data analyst and somebody is writing a letter of recommendation for you. In that letter, this person should be able to write about some of your achievements. For example, maybe you won an award, maybe you were featured in a newspaper, maybe you gave a speech in a conference, maybe you presented a paper, maybe you read one of your articles in time past, maybe you did a job for his company and it got a lot of recommendation, maybe you built a solution for them. Yeah, the author must be able to write about, you know, why you are very much important and why you should be able to get whether exceptional promise or exceptional talent. And the last one is that in that letter, there must also be a content about how are you as a person, how you are going to add a lot into the UK market as a whole. Remember that, yeah? So in that letter, your author needs to be able to tell whoever is reviewing your letter how you are going to add value to the UK economy. One of the ways I tell people is that go on Google, check a lot of news, check government website in the UK and look at something in the UK that links into where you can add value. It could be something like artificial intelligence, it could be something like blockchain, it could be about database administration, it could be about cyber security, yeah? So oftentimes what I like to do for people I'm trying to review their letter for is try to look for some government news that validate that this person is going to add a lot to UK digital economy. Now, these are the tips that will really help you as a person. Let me not talk about the structure of the letter. Yeah, people have always asked me that question. How should the letter be structured? Number 1, the letter needs to be typed. The letter needs to be dated. Please remember the date because the reviewer wants to know when the letter was being written. Yeah. Number 2 is that the letter needs to be like single pages, like single page each, 3 pages maximum. That is like 3 pages, yeah? And please, when you are submitting your letter of recommendation, you need to attach the profile of the author to the letter of recommendation. Let me give an example. If I'm writing a letter of recommendation for you now, that will be 3 pages, yeah? 3 pages maximum letter of recommendation. If it is 2 pages, it's fine, but I think the more you write, of course, tangible and quality thing, then the better the reviewer is going to have a lot of context and information about you. Now, when I write this letter for you now and I sign and I date that letter, it is also recommended that I also give you my CV. Yeah, my CV or my profile. One of the ways to get that from is that some people who are very senior don't have a CV. One of the ways you can get that is to draft one for them or pick it from their LinkedIn profile. Sometimes you can just do a summary, like a print out from somebody's LinkedIn profile. You can also like work for that. Now, so it could be auto CV, it could be auto LinkedIn profile, but now remember, why is technician requesting for this? Now, they are requesting for this because they really want to validate if this person is senior. They want to validate whether this person's words can be trusted. So you don't want to pick anybody anyhow to write your letters for you. Yeah? And when you pick somebody who is qualified to write the letter for you, it's also very important that you write that letter in the right way. And these are the structures of the letter. And if you are able to do that, it's also fine. Let me explain something to you. Now, technician says that letters which are deemed by technician to be duplicate or template or closely matching the content of evidence submitted by other applicants may be considered fraudulent. Let me explain that to you. If you write 3 letters of recommendation and these 3 letters look alike, that is also a duplicate. I've had several people who have been rejected because their letters look like it's templated. That's also a template. Not that you steal somebody's letter, it's also not enough that you write 3 letters, and these 3 letters are similar to each other. Now, why do people fall into this error? Because most times, the person writing the letter for you don't have time, so you have to draft it for them. Make sure when you are drafting the letters, they are not something similar to each other. Make sure the structure might be the same, but the content and the choice of the words are not the same. Peradventure, you stumble into somebody's templated documentation for technician. Yeah, please do not plagiarize. Please do not copy and paste template, yeah, from that person and use that. Just look at the structure, look at the content, and make it something unique for yourself. And finally, there's something that you also need to have at the end of your letter, and that is, number 1, the email address of the person, the author that wrote the letter. And I recommend that you put the person's official email address. The second one is the person's telephone number. Please make sure the person is easily reachable. And the other thing is that try to put the letter on the letterhead of the person. Yeah, if you can, please try to do that. Just imagine a letter that you write on just a plain paper and a letter that you write on the letterhead. The letterhead carries like a lot of more weight. And if you can put the address of the business, please put that. And if you can do all these things, please make sure you tick all this checklist and ensure that you do all of them. That's it. Now, if you can do this thing I've explained to you, your chances of being endorsed and your chances of getting that successful letter is very high. Remember, there are 2 things involved in your letter of recommendation. Number 1 is choosing the right persons, and how to choose that, watch my previous video, I explained that to you. The second part is the structure and the content of the letter. What should be in that letter, and I've just explained that. So if you can do these 2, then letter of recommendation is done. If you have any question, please feel free to drop them in the comment box. If you have any topic at all you want me to cover, please, you can drop that. And if you are not yet part of my community where I explain to people that ask me questions, I give an answer to them, please, you can also follow the description in this video and you can join the community. If you're in the community, it's free of charge. You can ask me questions, I'll give an answer to you. Peradventure, you are also watching this right now and you feel like you need support for your global talent visa, I offer several services, for that. I could help you in discovery session, which I do a guided tour with you, assessment of you, and to see your readiness for the global talent visa, and also let you know what are the roadmap of what you need to do for you to get yourself ready. That is one service that I offer. The second service I offer is when you know that you're ready and you want somebody to help you like review your documentation, to help you review your evidence to be sure that it is ready enough, then you can also speak to me. The email to contact is uktier1visa@peoplearm.io. I'll repeat that again, uktier1visa@peoplearm.io. You can also DM me, I'm also available for you. Yeah, my name once again is Ola Diamonds. I'm the strategist and I'm always here to help you, to japa with pride. Yeah. There's nothing to feel ashamed about to jackpot. There's nothing really to be ashamed about if you want to settle down in the Western world. Yeah, it's a good decision to make if you actually plan yourself right. That's why I'm an advocate of jackpot with pride. Until I see you again, I would like to tell you this: your dreams are valid. Please go for it and let nobody discourage you at all. Yeah? Thank you very much. Have a lovely day. Bye.